You know, if you're a programmer, you definitely remember the first time you found a tool that just made everything click. For so many of us, that tool is the HashMap. It honestly feels like you've unlocked a superpower, right? All of a sudden, a whole bunch of problems that seem tricky are suddenly easy. Today, we're going to dig into why that feeling is so universal and, more importantly, what comes next. And yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. This comment from a Reddit thread just captures it perfectly. It's that shared aha moment. It feels like a key turning in a lock you didn't even know was there. You go from thinking about data one item at a time to just instantly getting what you need. So what is this superpower, really? Why does this one particular data structure feel so powerful when you first get your hands on it? Well, it really all boils down to one simple, almost unbelievable property: raw speed. I mean, it seriously feels like straight up magic, doesn't it? You can have this gigantic collection of data. We're talking thousands, millions of items. And you can pinpoint the exact one you want in what feels like no time at all. How does that even work? It seems like it should be impossible. Okay, so the secret isn't actually magic, it's computer science. And to really get it, we need to learn a little bit of the language that developers use to talk about speed, big O notation. All it is really is a way to describe how an algorithm behaves when you start throwing more and more data at it. Does it get slower? And if so, by how much? And this is where you see the difference. It's just night and day. On the left, you have a plain old array. To find something, you might have to check every single item. We call that O of n, or linear time. The more stuff you have, the longer it takes. But look at the hash map on the right, O of 1, or constant time. That means whether you have 10 items or 10 million, finding what you're looking for takes, in theory, the exact same amount of time. That is the superpower. And look, this feeling of power isn't just some beginner's high. As this user, Captain Awesome Pants, points out, HashMaps are ridiculously useful. They are a core, fundamental tool that pros use every single day to solve really hard problems. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? When you discover a tool this powerful, a totally different kind of problem starts to creep in. It's a classic trap, sometimes called the golden hammer problem. And this quote from Reddit user Cook just nails it. The trap isn't the hash map itself, it's how you start to see the world. Instead of looking at a problem and thinking, what's the best tool for this? You start with your new favorite tool and go looking for problems it can solve. Suddenly, everything starts to look like a nail. Oh man, this cycle is such a classic rite of passage for coders. You find this incredible new thing, you feel like a genius, and you start using it for everything. And for a while, it feels great. It seems to work. But then you hit a wall. Your code starts to feel a little awkward. Maybe it's not performing quite as well as you thought, all because you're trying to hammer in a screw. And that wall you hit, it's because that incredible O of 1 speed, well, it isn't free. There are trade-offs. There are hidden costs, and understanding those is the next step in becoming a great developer. This quote right here gets to the heart of it. Big O notation tells you how performance scales, not how fast a single operation is in the real world. A HashMap lookup is constant time, sure, but there's a lot of work that has to happen in that constant time. It can be a much bigger, more expensive constant than, say, just grabbing an item from an array by its index. This table lays out the big trade-offs pretty clearly, right? You get that awesome O1 lookup speed with a hash map, but look at the trade-offs. It usually takes up more memory, and a really big one, hash maps generally don't care about the order you put things in. An array, on the other hand, keeps everything in the exact order you gave it. And it doesn't stop there. There's a lot going on under the hood. Every single time you use a hash map, the computer has to calculate something called a hash value. Sometimes different items can end up with the same hash. That's a collision, and it slows things down. If you add too many things, the whole map has to resize itself, which is a really slow process. These are the real costs behind that free O1 speed. So, what's the takeaway here? Is it don't use hash maps? Absolutely not. The point is to build out your entire toolkit. You know, a master carpenter doesn't just own a hammer. They know exactly when they need a saw, or a drill, or a plane. And the community brought up some great alternatives. Do you need your data to always be in order? Maybe a sorted array is actually better. Are you constantly adding and removing things from the middle of a list? A linked list might be your best bet. Each of these tools is designed to be amazing at a very specific job. And one thing that kept popping up over and over again was trees. As a data structure, they can give you this incredible mix of fast lookups and sorted order. as this user says they are absolutely amazing and totally worth your time to dive into. So this all brings us back to the main point, the core wisdom that all the experienced developers were sharing. It's never about finding the single best tool. It's always about finding the right tool for the job you have in front of you.
And this right here, this is the real secret sauce. This is what separates a good programmer from a great one. It's the discipline to just pause, to stop and really understand the problem. What do I need? Do I need speed? Do I need order? How much memory can I use? Once you know the answers to those questions, picking the right tool becomes so much easier.
So in the end, are HashMaps magic? No. Are they a trap? Also no. They are just an incredibly powerful, essential tool that is fantastic for certain jobs and not so great for others. Learning what they're good at is step 1. Learning what they're not good at is step 2. And that's really the question to carry with you on your coding journey. Finding the HashMap is an amazing moment. It's like you've been given this perfect, powerful hammer. But true mastery, that comes when you can look at a problem and know, instantly, whether you're looking at a nail or a screw.